everyone, and welcome back to the English Daily Podcast. It's wonderful to have you here with us today.
Hi everyone, I am Ethan. I am really happy to be here.
Ethan is a good friend, and he is also learning a new language, just like all of you.
That is true. I am learning Spanish right now. So, I know exactly how hard it can be to learn a new language.
Today we are talking about a very important topic. It is not about verbs or vocabulary. It is about...
You mean being afraid to speak English in front of other people?
Exactly. We want to talk about getting nervous. Ethan, be honest with us. Do you get nervous when you speak Spanish?
Oh, absolutely. It is a terrible feeling. My hands start sweating, and my heart starts beating very fast.
It is pounding in your chest?
Yes, it beats so fast. But the worst part is my mind. Someone asks me a question, and suddenly, my mind goes blank.
I think many of our listeners know that feeling. It is like you suddenly forget every English word you know.
Exactly. I freeze. I want to speak, but I am too anxious. It feels like a block in my brain.
I want to tell our listeners right now, you are not alone. This is a very common problem.
Yes, it is normal. It happens to beginners, but it also happens to advanced learners. We all feel it.
So, today is a safe space. We are not checking your grammar. We are not correcting your mistakes.
That is a relief. Today is just about building confidence. We want you to feel calm when you speak.
We want you to enjoy communicating instead of worrying about being perfect.
That is the goal. We want to help you stop freezing and start speaking.
So, before we fix the problem, we need to understand exactly where this fear comes from. So, let's talk about where this fear comes from. Why do our hands shake? Why do we feel like running away?
I think I know the answer. It is because we want to be perfect. We think that every time we open our mouths, we are taking a test.
Yes, it is the school mindset. In school, if you make a mistake, you get a red mark on your paper. You get a bad grade.
Exactly. You feel like there is a teacher standing behind you, holding a red pen, waiting for you to say the wrong verb.
But here is the truth. In the real world, nobody is grading you. There is no red pen. There is no scorecard.
That is hard to believe sometimes. We feel like everyone is judging our grammar.
Think about it this way. If you stop someone on the street to ask for directions, do they care if you use the wrong preposition?
No, they don't. They just want to help you find the station. They are thinking about the directions, not your grammar.
Exactly. People are busy. They are thinking about their own lives. They are not English teachers.
I have a funny story about this. When I first started learning Spanish, I was very nervous. I went to a bakery to buy some bread.
Oh, I love bakeries. What happened?
Well, I wanted to say, the bread smells good, but I got confused. I used the wrong word. I think I told the woman, your feet smell good.
Oh no, Ethan! That is so embarrassing.
It was terrible. My face turned completely red. I wanted to disappear.
What did the woman do? Did she get angry?
No, she just laughed. She knew I was a learner. She smiled, gave me the bread, and I left.
See, you survived. The world did not end because you made a mistake.
Exactly. Actually, it was a funny moment. We connected. I got my bread, and she got a laugh.
That is the difference between school English and street English. In school, the goal is to be correct. In the street, the goal is to connect.
I like that. The goal is to connect. If the other person understands you, you win, even if your grammar is messy.
I want to tell you a secret, Ethan. Even native speakers make mistakes.
Really? But you speak English perfectly.
Not at all. I make mistakes every day. Sometimes I start a sentence and forget where I am going. Sometimes I mumble.
That makes me feel much better.
I have a friend who is a native speaker. Yesterday, a waiter told him, "Enjoy your meal." And my friend said, "Thanks, you too."
Ha! I have done that before. It is so awkward because the waiter is not eating.
Exactly. But did the waiter get angry? No. It was just a small slip. Native speakers stumble, we stutter, and we use the wrong words all the time.
So, if native speakers are not perfect, why are we trying to be perfect?
That is the big question. Perfection is actually boring. It is robotic. Mistakes show that you are human. They show that you are trying.
So, to our listeners, next time you speak, imagine you are just sharing a message. You are not writing an exam.
Drop the pressure. If you forget a word, describe it. If you use the wrong tense, just keep going.
Most people are kind. They appreciate that you are learning their language. They want to help you, not judge you.
So we know that mistakes are okay. We know nobody is grading us, but that feeling of fear is still there in our bodies.
Yes, knowing is one thing. Doing is another. We need some practical ways to handle that physical nervousness.
Exactly. We need to trick our brains into feeling calm. And I have a few favorite techniques for that. Before we practice those techniques to calm our bodies, we need to fix one big idea in our minds.
Which idea is that?
It is the idea that everyone is looking at you.
Oh, I know that feeling. When I make a mistake, I feel like I am standing on a stage with a bright light on my face.
Exactly. Psychologists actually call this the spotlight effect. We think there is a spotlight on us. We think everyone sees every small mistake we make.
But that is not true?
No, it is not true. In reality, people are not thinking about you. They are thinking about themselves.
That sounds a little selfish, but it is actually comforting.
It is very comforting. If you use the wrong verb tense, you might worry about it for hours. But the person listening to you, they forgot about it 2 seconds later.
So we are judging ourselves much harder than anyone else is judging us.
Yes, and here is another thing, Ethan. People are actually much nicer than we think.
Sometimes it is hard to believe that, especially when we are nervous.
Let me ask you a question. Imagine a tourist stops you in your home city. They are trying to speak your language, but they are struggling.
I can imagine that.
They are searching for words. They are speaking slowly. Do you think, wow, this person is stupid?
No, of course not. I think, wow, good for them. They are trying. I usually want to help them find the right word.
Exactly. You feel supportive. You feel patience. You want them to succeed.
I see your point. When I speak English, the other person probably wants me to succeed too.
Yes, most people are helpful by nature. They appreciate the effort you are making. Speaking a second language is brave. People respect that.
I need to remember that word. Brave. It is not embarrassing. It is brave.
There is one more scary thing about speaking. It is the silence.
Oh, the silence is the worst. When I forget a word and I just stop talking, the silence feels so long.
It feels like 5 minutes, right?
Yes, it feels like an eternity. I start to sweat. I think the other person is getting bored or angry.
But here is the secret. To the listener, that silence is very short. It might only be 2 or 3 seconds.
Really? It feels so much longer inside my head.
That is because your brain is working very fast. But to the listener, a short pause is normal. They just think you are thinking.
So they are not judging the silence.
No. Usually, they are just waiting for the next piece of information. They are curious. They want to know what you are going to say.
That changes everything. If I forget a word, I don't need to panic. I can just take a breath.
Exactly. The person listening is on your team. They are not your enemy. They are your partner in the conversation.
I like that image. We are partners. We are building the conversation together.
Yes. And if you make a mistake, or if you are silent for a moment, they are usually trying to guess what you mean, so they can help you.
They are trying to bridge the gap.
That is beautiful, Ethan. Yes. So the world is not a scary exam room. It is a place full of potential partners.
I feel a lot lighter now. The pressure is gone. But, Ella, sometimes the situation is still difficult.
Of course.
Sometimes, even if the people are nice, I still get stuck. I completely forget the word I need. What do I do then?
That happens to everyone, even me. But don't worry, there is a simple trick to keep the conversation moving, even when your vocabulary disappears. So let's talk about that trick. The best way to handle the pressure of speaking is to practice when there is.
No pressure? But speaking always feels like pressure to me.
It doesn't have to. You just need to change where you practice. I call this.
Do you mean talking to myself while I am washing my hair?
Exactly. It sounds funny, but think about it. In the shower, it is just you and the water. It is the safest place in the world.
That is true. Nobody can hear me if I make a mistake.
You can talk as loud as you want. You can describe your day or even sing a song. The important thing is that you are getting your mouth muscles moving.
I guess I could have a debate with myself about which shampoo is better.
You could. The topic doesn't matter. You are teaching your brain to be comfortable hearing your own voice in English.
I actually do something similar when I am driving my car.
Oh, really? What do you do?
Since I am alone in the car, I narrate my drive. I say things like, "The light is red," or "That is a big truck," or "I am turning left now."
That is brilliant, Ethan. You are connecting English to the real world, but without the stress of a listener watching you.
It helps me find gaps in my vocabulary too. If I see a bird and I don't know the word, I can look it up later.
That is a fantastic way to learn. So that is practicing alone. But what about when we want to talk to other people?
That is the big step. Talking to strangers in a shop or a restaurant is still scary.
It doesn't have to be a big conversation. You can use what I call the 2-sentence script.
How does that work?
Before you enter a shop or a cafe, you prepare exactly 2 sentences in your head. Just 2. For example, "Hello, how are you?" And "I would like a black coffee, please."
I can do that. I can memorize 2 sentences.
You practice them in your mind before you open the door. Then, when you say them correctly, you feel a win.
That feeling of success is really important. It proves that I can do it.
Exactly. You don't need to discuss philosophy. You just need to buy coffee. It builds a foundation of confidence.
That is really practical. Do you have one more tip? Maybe something between talking to myself and talking to strangers?
Yes, this is my favorite tip for the digital age. Use voice notes.
You mean audio messages on WhatsApp or Messenger?
Yes, many students text their friends in English, which is good, but speaking is better. Send a short voice note to a friend instead.
I like that idea. If I record it and I make a mistake, I can delete it, right?
Exactly. There is no time pressure. You can record it 5 times if you want to. You only send it when you are happy with it.
It gives me control. In a real conversation, I can't press the delete button.
Precisely. It bridges the gap. You are communicating with a real person, but on your own terms.
So we have the shower technique, the 2-sentence script, and voice notes. These all feel very safe.
They are low-pressure ways to build your bravery. We want to move from impossible fear to possible practice.
I feel much better having these tools. I don't have to be perfect immediately. I can just take small steps.
That is the secret. You just need to keep moving forward.
Speaking of moving forward, Ella, what happens when we do make a mistake? Because eventually, I will mess up in front of someone.
That is inevitable, Ethan. But believe it or not, making mistakes can actually be a good thing. So we have covered a lot of ground today, Ethan. We talked about singing in the shower and narrating your car ride.
And we talked about preparing 2 sentences before buying coffee. That is my favorite tip.
It is a great one. The most important lesson is simply to start small. You do not need to be perfect today.
You just need to be a little bit brave.
Exactly. Being brave does not mean you are not scared. It means you do it anyway.
That is a beautiful way to say it. So, Ella, do you have a challenge for us today?
I certainly do. I want everyone listening to do one small thing.
Is it difficult?
Not at all. I want you to speak English out loud for.
That sounds easy.
It is! You don't even need a partner. You can talk to your cat, your dog, or even your mirror.
I will talk to my goldfish. I will tell him about this podcast.
Perfect. Tell him you are proud of yourself for learning.
It feels good to take action. It makes the fear go away.
Action is the cure for fear. Remember, we are learning step by step.
Every small step counts.
Before we go, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the English Daily Podcast.
Yes, hit that follow button. We have many more exciting topics coming soon.
Thank you so much for listening. Be proud of your progress and don't be afraid to just say hello.
See you next time, everyone.
Have a wonderful day and keep speaking.